What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Calvin, aka C Smith. In today's video, I'm going to talk about when and how I'm feeling before a TrainerRoad workout. And before we dive into it, I just want to let you know I am not a doctor. I am not a nutritionist. I don't pretend to be one on YouTube. I don't want to pretend to be one on YouTube. Now that that's out the way, let's talk. In case you're wondering, no, I'm not sponsored by TrainerRoad, but it is the platform that I use for my training needs. And if you're curious about how I honestly feel about TrainerRoad, then watch the review video that I made next. I'm gonna share with you my complete fueling strategy, when and how I fuel for my TrainerRoad workouts. And I'm gonna share with you something that has completely enhanced my fueling strategy and made it more efficient. So let's talk about when I'm fueling for my workouts. And this is regardless of the intensity level of the workout that I'm doing. It doesn't matter if it's a threshold workout or a sweet spot workout or a zone 2 ride. I ideally like to fuel 2.5 to 3 hours before my TrainerRoad workout. And that's because I want to allow ample time for my food to digest, for my glycogen storage to get topped off. If I'm really in a bind, I'll go as little as an hour and a half, but that's usually only if I have a zone 2 low intensity ride. And I usually like to work out later in the day, so this is easier for me to accomplish. But if you have a family or kids and you have to work out in the morning, which I have had to do before, then I'll make sure I fuel either the night before or the last 2 meals of the previous day. Now with that timing in mind, let's talk about the intensity of the ride. If it's a VO2, threshold, or even sweet spot workout, I like to make sure I have ample amount of carbs on board. And let's quantify ample. For me, I'm a bigger guy. I'm not 130 pounds. Before I had this new piece of information that I'll share with you in a minute, I typically would aim for at least 100 grams of carbs on board per hour to fuel my workouts. Personally, I want to have enough carbs on board so that I'm not quitting my workout early and wishing that I had refueled more. I would rather overshoot a bit than undershoot a bit so I can get the workout done. Now, if it's a lower intensity workout, I will still intake carbs, and I suggest you do the same because you are still utilizing carbs for these lower intensity rides. My goal is around 30 to 60 grams of carbs per hour. And the types of food that I'm fueling with, guys, I'll give you my big three. It is pasta, rice, and oatmeal. Largely because they are easy to make. One thing I like to do, especially with oatmeal, is to load it up with some honey as well, because honey has a good amount of carbohydrates in it, and I'm getting a little more sugar on board for that workout. With rice, if it's a high intensity workout, I would do rice and eggs. That's it. Just do carbs and protein. And then with pasta, I'll do the same. It will be either fish or pasta. I don't add anything like almonds or walnuts to my oatmeal either, because I want it to be carbs and protein for my high intensity workouts. But the one thing that has enhanced my fueling strategy dramatically is the recent Vo2 Max test that I did. I now know exactly how many carbohydrates I am burning per minute, so I can take that information and apply it to my fueling strategy for whatever workout I'm doing. For example, today I had a threshold workout, and I simply took the amount of carbohydrates that I burned per minute at that specific power zone times the total amount of time that I'll be required to work at that power to get the exact number of how many carbohydrates I'll need on board just for that section of the workout. So I took 4.4 and times it by 45 minutes. I got the exact number of carbohydrates that I'll need to fuel that portion of the ride. And then I did the same thing at the other power numbers for the rest of the workout. This helps me with my fueling strategy before my workout. It's a big number of carbohydrates, but if I'm breaking it up into breakfast and lunch and I'm working out later in the day, it is more attainable. Then when I'm on the bike, guys, honestly, my favorite snack recently has been gummy bears. They are really, really affordable. And the gummy bears that I like to buy have 81 grams of carbs and it has 54 grams of sugar. So on the bike, I'm getting refueled. That's another thing that's important to make sure you're fueling before and on the bike. But again, I go back to everybody's body is different. My body is different than your body. That's why I recommend that if you have a facility in your area that does Vo2 Max testing, that you go and get the test, because you'll know exactly what your body burns. Your body may require more or less carbohydrates than what my body requires. I just want to encourage you, keep it simple, don't overthink it. Don't think that you always have to go and buy fancy nutrition products. Keep it simple, have fun on the bikes, get your workouts done, And I think that would take a lot of the stress of working out off of you. But I hope this information was helpful, guys. It makes fueling for your TrainerRoad rides a little easier. Let me know in the comments if you have any more questions. And if you haven't checked out my Vo2 Max test video, make sure you check that out. And if you're curious about my thoughts on TrainerRoad as an app, I have a video that I did on that as well. All right, guys, happy training.